going to talk about today the SK1550 here. There is a model larger than this called SK3000. It's too big in my opinion, but I've never run one, never demoed one, don't know. This thing really, so far, seems to be the happy medium of these machines. I think we're at 153 hours, something like that. So we're gonna get on here and crank this dude over. I'm gonna talk about things I like about this machine, don't like about this thing. Things I've grown to really not like about the machine, and things I've really grown to like about the machine, and even a few little things that have gone wrong or happened, whatever with it. So here we go. So we have, where are we at? 143 hours, which the digital screen thing, I'm old school. There's aspects and elements of that I like, and there aren't. But we fire this thing up. You can kind of see, there's the cigarette lighter adapter thing there. That's handy. Air filter, monitor gauge there. And we're gonna fire it up. Yep, see, so now it's mad at me. Awesome. So this thing is running off of I think it's a 40 horsepower Yanmar diesel. All your government nonsense there. Hydraulic pumps. A little bit of a leak there. Well, you see, that's not optimal, but whatever. This machine is, well, if I were a great YouTuber, I'd say, and stick around to the end to know my true opinion of this thing, but I suck at YouTube. I don't know what to tell you. Things that are awesome about this machine: footprint, narrow, 4 feet wide. We can get this thing in a lot of places. It's long, but I mean, it's a machine that does some pretty incredible stuff as far as weight and capacity to pick up materials. The wild thing about this is that thing weighs about 4,000 pounds, I think. Yeah, right in there, 4,000. It used to be written on here, but it's like 4,000, 4,500, something like that. I think with the counterweight, don't hold me to that. Versus this thing that weighs 6,000 or 8,000 pounds. If I didn't have to have a full-size skid steer to reach into dump trucks, load out dump trucks, this mini skid does nearly everything this does, just in a smaller package. When it comes to trailering and all that, this thing is really wonderful as far as that goes. They had a couple model years, I guess, that were really prone to some issues. I don't know. We haven't had any yet in 150 hours, but it's only 150 hours. The counterweight kit, necessity to make sure it can pick up. When you order these things, actually one of these bolts worked their way out at like 100 hours maybe, and so that kind of sucked, but whatever. Here's the things I suggest, 3 things I suggest you getting with the Ditch Witch or a mini skid steer. 1, set of forks, must have. 2 is a big bulk material smooth edge bucket. 3 is a smaller, no wider than the tracks, tooth bucket for digging and getting in really aggressive places. So those are the 3 things you should buy with any mid-size skid steer, 100%. The things I really like about this machine, its capability is first and foremost the #1 thing. It's a very capable machine. Its capability is first and foremost absolutely awesome. Some of the creature comfort stuff, like it, there's little things to me I don't like, the others may love, and vice versa. This joystick, I've gotten used to it, but I wish this thing were a little further out here, but my hands are giant. Maybe that's just me, but I do wish that the joystick was more like the one on our 750. It's a little more ergonomic in my opinion. This does have a high, low, and medium range hydraulic flow rate, which is really cool. Low and medium works on most all your mini stuff. High is for your big full-size skid steer attachments, but this thing will run. It's got your hydro lock here, so when you engage the hydros, it will lock, your forward or reverse into action there. The thing I don't like is these switches. I feel like those, just like a stick or something gets run up, or a shovel, these are going to get busted off. I just feel like that's inevitable at some point. And the same with the throttle. I don't like this thing. I wish this just were a simple dial up here. I just feel like this thing, again, is just prone to getting busted off of here. So those are 2 things I don't like. These feel frail up here. The machine is a little sluggish, but again, it's a full-size skid steer running over 2 controls like this. I'm used to our 750 model, which is half this size. Our 750, it's a media. I mean, it zips around. It's awesome. This is a little more sluggish, but it's a different animal. So that just took some getting used to. I have grown to love this thing. I went from like, yeah, it'll do, to we will never not have this size machine now, because this goes out on nearly every paver job. It actually so far has every hardscape job, so we don't have to lug this behemoth around. And it's just a 595. It's a nice size machine. It's the biggest little, or the littlest big machine at the time we could get that would handle full-size pallets. Instead, you know, and do what you can, buy what you can as you can afford it. But you know, if you have a smaller skid steer, you got to break down the pallets and put half of a skid on another skid and move it around. Again, at the time, you got to do the best you can with what you can afford. This was a big jump for us, and I love that machine dearly still, and probably because I'm more nostalgic of it than anything. Of like, I felt like big boy contractor when we bought that for the first time, I think back in 2016. So we crank this thing over, we let it do all its startup stuff here, we'd let it warm up if it was a cold day or cool out, and here we go. The tachometer, digital of course. Always save the tags off your hardscape material, so if there's a fault with them, you can reference the batch number and all that, and they can figure out if it's a problem. This bundle weighs 3,200 pounds. Now, it won't manhandle it. It's probably not even recommended you're even supposed to handle that weight with it. You can't double stack them or anything like that. a 3,200 pound skid. I mean, that's a serious bundle of pavers. And you saw how I changed the orientation of the pallet to get it collected a little closer up to the machine. That's going to help you get it around site. Now, if it's a soft, if the ground is soft and all that, you're going to have more hassle getting it around. But you can at least get it moved around the job site, and it may wear out your bushings faster. Ditch Witch probably does not, and this is not a Ditch Witch endorsed video, so, and Ditch Witch may not even want you moving that big of material with it. Operated rating capacity is 1,500 pounds, and then generally what, double that is the tip and all that junk. But again, for the price point, which we've got about, in, you know, what is it? We bought it in 2022, about 60 with the forks and tacks and bucket teeth, all that junk. We had about 63,000 in that setup there. That's serious money, but again, it's a full-size skid steer in a non-full-size package. Now, compare it to the Bobcat, that T595, it will manhandle that pallet and move it all around for you. But the thing you can't beat is the trailering and hauling and not having to worry about all that stuff. About the only thing that thing can't do is it doesn't have the reach. Now, it does have good reach, don't get me wrong. That part is great. So that's kind of that aspect there. You can hear it, you know, kind of bogged down a little bit. I'll show you one thing I don't like about it, which is kind of odd. So what you'll hear, I'm going to drive along here full throttle, and the boom up and down, and you can hear it draw on the engine a little bit, which I wouldn't think it would do that so much, but I don't know if it's good or bad or what, but it is just an interesting thing, I thought. So we'll show you that here. Here we go. Now I don't know how heavy that 60 bag pallet of, but that's 4.6 yards I think on there. I can't remember off the top of my head, but it's like 4 yards on there, and it picks that thing up, and you could load that up onto a truck, and that's really cool. Our 750, obviously size-wise, couldn't do that. Something too I didn't mention, access is pretty good. You can get in and access some stuff there. I like that. The biggest thing, I tell you, that all the machines have been missing up till about the 1550, I don't know, the lights. Man, that is the greatest thing in nighttime, is having lights built into these things, which our 750 doesn't, and it really sucked. Now this back one is out for some reason. I don't know why. It's cracked, it's gotten backed into, something happened, I don't know. But the lights are wonderful. I definitely will say what a great job that is by Ditch Witch. So to have these on here finally. We'll park this again. But this is a 2,500 pound skid, and you'll see how we handle that here in just a second too. So it handles a 2,500 pound skid great, and that's even better than 3,500 pounds, of course. I can't make any statements on fuel consumption yet. I mean, it's a 40 horse diesel, so I feel like it guzzles a good bit. We're going to go put a bucket on and show you that, and there we go. As far as bucket or attachment load or whatever, I don't love these. I feel like they probably need greased. They do snap back into place somewhat automatically. Whether or not that's intentional, I don't know. Your hydraulic takeoffs, whatever. By the way, these little grooves here are nice. You can see through your the cross part of your boom there, so that's cool. Down pressure check. Awesome. It does have the float control and the boom there, which of course is nice for grading and back dragging and all that. Now when we want to fuel up, we want to we gotta lift that up there. I like to turn machines off when we're fueling so we're not stirring up junk in the tank and making our fuel filter work any harder than we have to. Of course, diesel, this is your hydraulic reservoir. It's got the little bulb thingy in there. That's, you know, all down in here, whatever this is. I wonder what that wire harness, oh, those are all like pin things. I don't know what any of that is. Need to wash her down. You want to keep this kind of crap off your machines as best you can, because what that is holding, it's insulating that device. And what you run into is, from our wonderful fuel tanks here at the shop, but that holds heat and it shortens the life of your machinery. So you want to make sure that, sorry, I'm inspecting my fuel thing here, making sure it's reasonably clean, which it's not. Wipe that off here. Oh crap, just got that on my boots. You really want to make sure that that stuff is clean, because it's holding heat, and heat shortens the lifespan of equipment, period. So, okay, we'll kick on our fuel tank here. And there we go. So one of the things I was just thinking, one of the things I don't like about this machine, and our Toro buggy does the same crap, but there in the cooling, it sucks in through the back here, which is nice. It keeps you nice and clean, or it keeps that cooler air running over you, which is cool. Got liquid gold running in here. And gauge says we're full, so we'll shut her down. Well, since my wonderful GoPro died here, we'll wrap this up on an iPhone. Interesting, can you see the difference? Comment below and let me know. Okay, so we got her fueled up, but we want that stuff clean, so we need to get her in and washed up. The track tensioning thing on this, by the way, is pretty cool. You put this gauge on, and then you grease it that way, and it'll tell you if it's at the right track tension or whatever. It's kind of wild. So this thing, the thing I don't like about this, one of the things I don't like about it, aside from those plastic controls and all that, is the cooling fans blow kind of down, or something's blowing down. I don't know what exactly, and it's not the exhaust, but it stirs up a lot of dust. And our Toro buggy's really bad about that. I freaking hate that thing for that reason. Otherwise, I love that machine. But it blows dust everywhere, and this thing tends to stir up a lot more dust, and I don't like that. That sucks for the operator and on site and all that. So that's probably one thing I don't like about it. So my main cranks are, I don't like these plastic controls. I do like the hydraulic concept here is nice. I wish this was reconfigured just a little, but it's not a deal breaker. And I do wish that was a little more durable control. Otherwise, I would highly recommend the machine. They have a tremendous back order on these things just for that purpose. It can pick up really heavy skids of hardscape material. This thing is a must-have, or a mini skid steer period, whatever size you can afford is a must-have. So that's kind of the route I would go with that. So that being said, well, you can send your company stickers to that address, and I'll put it on our Fuel of Fame here, which a lot of folks have, so that goes out on job sites and whatever else. So folks, that's it from Almond Landscape headquarters here, the Hardscape Academy, all that junk. Like and subscribe, all that stuff. We've got a lot of hardscape related content coming here. Really looking forward to bringing you more on-site videos, and anything else you want us to video about, let us know. We'll do it. We will, if you comment below what you want us to make a video on, I will make that video, and I'll even dedicate it to you or whatever. So I'll give you a shout out or whatever that's called. And speaking of shout out, advanced drainage systems, we're using that rainwater harvest tank. How cool is this? This is just a temporary setup here, but using that to water some plant material we have here. It's going to some projects. So okay, all right folks, we're out of here. We'll catch you on the next one. Thanks, we'll see you.